The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli. Publisher's Introduction. Niccolo Machiavelli's The Prince stands as perhaps the most influential treatise on political power ever written. Composed in 1513 while its author was in exile from his beloved Florence, this slim volume has shaped the thinking of leaders, scholars, and political theorists for 5 centuries. From its pages emerge concepts so fundamental to modern political discourse that they have transcended their Renaissance origins to become part of our everyday vocabulary, Machiavellian realpolitik, the ends justifying the means. Yet for all its influence, The Prince has often suffered in translation. Earlier versions, weighted with Victorian-era language or overly academic prose, have obscured Machiavelli's most revolutionary quality, his startling clarity. Machiavelli wrote The Prince not in scholarly Latin, but in direct, forceful Italian, meant to cut through philosophical abstractions and speak brutal truths about power. This new translation returns to that spirit of unflinching directness. We have stripped away arcane language while preserving Machiavelli's intellectual precision. Historical references are illuminated with detailed annotations, connecting Machiavelli's Renaissance examples to modern parallels. The result is a text that reads with the same revolutionary force that it carried in 1513. The Prince's endurance stems not just from its insights into political power, but from its broader observations about human nature and leadership. Machiavelli's analysis of why leaders fail, how they can maintain authority, and when they should choose severity over mercy, speaks as clearly to modern corporate boardrooms as it does to presidential palaces. His clear-eyed separation of political effectiveness from moral virtue challenged the conventions of his time and continues to provoke debate today. To browse other updated works like this, please visit oldbooknew.com. Dedication to the magnificent Lorenzo di Piero de' Medici. People who want to win the favor of a prince usually bring him gifts that they consider the most valuable or that they know he really enjoys. That's why you often see horses, weapons, gold cloth, precious stones, and similar fancy items being given to princes, fitting for their status. Wanting to show my dedication to you, I look for something special to share and realize that what I treasure most is the knowledge I've gained about the actions of great people. This knowledge comes from years of experience with current events and a deep study of history. After thinking about it carefully for a long time, I've put it all together in a little book that I'm now sending to you. Even though I might think this work isn't quite worthy of your attention, I really hope you'll be kind enough to appreciate it. I can't offer you a better gift than the chance to quickly understand everything I've learned over so many years, through lots of challenges and dangers. I haven't dressed it up with fancy words or elaborate sentences or any extra frills that many people use to make their work look good. I want it to be valued either for its honesty or for the importance of the topic itself. I don't agree with those who think it's presumptuous for someone from a low or humble background to discuss and decide on the matters of princes. Just like artists who draw landscapes position themselves in the plains to observe the mountains and high places, and climb mountains to view the plains. To truly understand the nature of the people, you need to be a prince, and to understand the nature of princes, you need to be one of the people. So, Your Magnificence, please accept this small gift in the spirit I'm sending it. If you read and think about it carefully, you'll see how much I want you to reach the greatness that your fortune and qualities promise. And if from the height of your greatness you occasionally look down to these lower places, you'll see how unfairly I'm dealing with a lot of ongoing bad luck. The Prince. Chapter 1. Different types of principalities and how they're acquired. All states and powers that have ruled or currently rule over people are either republics or principalities. Principalities are either hereditary, where the ruling family has been in power for a long time, or they are new. New territories are either completely new, like Milan was for Francesco Sforza, or they're like additions to the existing hereditary state of the prince who acquired them, similar to how the Kingdom of Naples was for the King of Spain. These territories once acquired are either used to living under a ruler or enjoying their freedom. They can be gained through the ruler's own efforts, with help from others, by luck, or through skill. Chapter 2 concerning hereditary principalities. I'm going to skip talking about republics since I've covered them in detail elsewhere. Instead, I'll focus on principalities. I'll follow the order I mentioned earlier and talk about how these principalities should be governed and maintained. I'll say right away that it's easier to hold on to hereditary states where people are used to the ruling family than to manage new ones. For a prince with average abilities, it's usually enough to stick to the traditions of his ancestors and handle situations wisely as they come up to keep his position. This is unless he's overthrown by some extraordinary and overwhelming force. And if that does happen, he'll likely get his state back if something bad happens to the usurper. Take the Duke of Ferrara in Italy, for example. He wouldn't have been able to fend off the Venetians in 84 or Pope Julius in 10 if he hadn't been firmly established in his territory for a long time. A hereditary prince has fewer reasons and less need to upset people, so he's likely to be more loved. Unless he has some major flaws that make people hate him, it's reasonable to expect that his subjects will naturally like him. Over time, as his rule becomes more established, the memories and reasons for wanting change fade away, because one change often leads to the desire for another. Chapter 3. Concerning mixed principalities. But the challenges come up in a new principality. First off, if it's not completely new, but is instead part of a larger state, which you could call composite, the changes mainly stem from a common difficulty in all new principalities. People often switch rulers willingly, hoping for a better situation, and this hope leads them to take up arms against the current ruler. However, they end up disappointed because they realize they've gone from bad to worse. This also